Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini. Today, we are talking all baseball. MLB Trade Deadline coming up here in roughly an hour and a half. 6 p.m. is the deadline, and the trades in Major League Baseball, they are coming fast and furious here today. Going to kick off here in a moment what the Pirates did just a couple of hours ago. A monumental trade, shipping off David Bednar to the Bronx. He is heading to the New York Yankees. We will break down that trade and the other two trades that the Pirates have made at the deadline thus far, first and foremost. And then we will get into all the other trades and react live to any trades that come across the wire as we are live here. Expecting to be live up until a little bit past the 6 p.m. deadline. We always have a couple extra deals that trickle in, around 6:15-ish and stuff like that. So happy that 6 of you so far are in here. The number keeps on going up. Welcome you all to the stream. Going to be on past the a little bit past the deadline here today. We will break down any trades that come across as we are live. First and foremost, if you are new here to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, feel free to like and share this stream. Leave a comment in the comment section. Any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you may have. Any instant reactions to a trade that the Pirates make. What your favorite team makes. Any reactions that you have to the trades. Get those in. We can interact that way. I appreciate it when you do so. Like I said, we are going to start off the stream right now. Just a couple of hours ago, the Pirates making a massive trade. This was first reported by Jeff Passan, the deal coming across at 2:45 p.m. The New York Yankees finalizing a trade to acquire closer David Bednar from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Really, Bednar, over the past 24 hours, he has been mentioned a lot by MLB insiders. I have them right here. Francis Romero, who does a lot of work for the Baseball Writers Association of America. He said that the Yankees were in talk this past weekend, but no deal was reached. The Pirates were seeking a 3-player return for the reliever, which they actually got. More on that here in a moment. John Heyman, throughout the day, 6 hours ago, Yankees are a team interested in David Bednar. He also said that the Yankees, they were not going to move off of top prospect and outfielder Spencer Jones. He is a guy who I wanted in this trade, but the Yankees, they are out of their freaking minds because Heyman said that the Yankees are consistent on this, that they will only trade Jones and others in a package for Paul Skeens. So clearly sending the message to Ben Cherington, hey, you're going to need to give up a lot more than just David Bednar if you want to get Spencer Jones. I think they are absolutely out of their minds to compare Spencer Jones to Paul Skeens, and that he's not even a top 100 prospect anymore. I love him. Honestly, I do. I would have gone head over heels for Spencer Jones because, what is it, over 1,000 OPS in the minor leagues, on the cusp of, making the big leagues. Probably could be in the big leagues right now if the Yankees didn't have Jason Dominguez, Cody Bellinger, and Aaron Judge as their outfielders. So, would have been happy for him. And then 2 hours ago, Heyman saying that the Yankees remain in on the Bednar Derby. They have a history of doing deals with Pittsburgh, but others are still in on it. Then, like I said, 2:45 deal came across that Bednar was going to the Yankees. The return that the Pirates got for David Bednar, 3-player deal, or a 3-player return, like we said. I'm going to pop this up because this is hilarious, and you're going to feel like this when you hear this return. The Yankees, for David Bednar, had to give up catcher Rafael Flores. He is their number 8 prospect. They also gave up their number 14 prospect, catcher / first baseman Edglin Perez, and also center fielder Brian Sanchez. So 2 top 30 prospects plus another outfielder in Sanchez. Baseball America actually had this deal as the Pirates getting 3 top 30 prospects from the Yankees: Flores 8, Edglin Perez 16, and Brian Sanchez 24. Jeff Passan, MLB Insider, really the Adam Schefter of the baseball world. He was really happy, surprisingly, with the return that the Pirates got for David Bednar, especially Rafael Flores. Passan, he has been probably one of the biggest haters, and rightfully so, of how the Pirates have done business. But he says that, Flores here tore up Double-A, now in Triple-A. I believe he's only played 10 games there. He's a top shelf framer, is one of the positives that Jeff Passan is giving to Rafael Flores. Not sure if being a good framing catcher. I mean, I like that. I was a catcher growing up playing baseball, loved the position, was involved every play, and I took pride, just like just about every catcher takes pride in being able to, steal a strike here and there. But how, necessary is that really going to be come, next year, 2 years from now, when the ABS automatic balls and strike system is going to clearly get implemented into Major League Baseball? Passan said he's a big league ready catcher, a very good centerpiece. I guess in a deal on paper, not looking at, who's going to what team here. On paper, this was, a good deal. Gonna read more here about these 3 prospects on MLB Pipeline here. Flores, he is a bit of an older prospect, 24 years old, 6'4", 232 pounds, so good height and size to him. Has 50 power on the scouting grades, but still a middling, below average 40 hitting grade. Arm and fielding, both pretty average. And he's, like I said, the number 8 prospect in a weaker, Yankee system. Edglin Perez going here to the other catcher in this deal, 19 years old, still in A ball with the Tampa Tarpons. 19, righty batter, righty thrower. This is where you lose me with. I lose all interest in Edglin Perez. Barring this kid having some sort of super late growth spurt here, Edglin Perez, 5'10", 155 pounds, soaking wet. I'm hoping that there's a growth spurt in there. Looking at his scouting grades here on MLB Pipeline, good arm, good defender, but typical what you would expect, an average hitter, average contact, and below average power. So fits the Ben Cherington mold, getting a player with no pop with the bat. And then Brian Sanchez, the third player in this 21-year-old left fielder, also with the Tampa Tarpons, 6'3", 170 at 21 years old. This year in Single A, he's hitting 281 with an 811 OPS, 4 home runs, 36 RBIs. Let me go here. What's the stats here for Edglin Perez? A 209 batting average, a 604 OPS. Nice OPS there. Hope you're picking up the sarcasm there, or that you're smart enough to know. Be about average with all the other Pirate hitters in this freaking ball club system. He has, what do you know? No home runs, 26 RBIs, though. Those stats in 83 games. And then Rafael Flores, like we said, 2025 overall in Double-A and Triple-A, a 279 batting average. Decent numbers, 16 home runs, 60 RBIs in 826 OPS. So, all right there, but here's why I have problems with this trade. First and foremost, you are giving up David Bednar, who, great hometown kid, actually wanted to be here, is what I'm getting at here. Hometown kid, and you rarely get people other than, David Bednar, Andrew McCutchen, Paul Skeens, at least for the next, year, 2 years before Major League Baseball makes the Pirates trade him away. He is one of very few people in this world that actually wanted to and took pride in playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And now he is gone. And yeah, so that's con number one, negative number one to this trade. Hometown kid now gone. Would have loved to see him stay here. Minus number two. What you got in return, two catchers and an outfielder. The first catcher, Rafael Flores, have no problem, no issues with him as a player. It's just, was really the best guy you could get a catcher when you have already spent a ton of assets into getting a catcher in Henry Davis, first overall pick. And also, you have three major league catchers already in the organization. Are they good? Absolutely not. But still, though, if you're going to keep Flores here, then you got to think one of those guys is going to be on the way out the door here, because you got Henry Davis, 1 overall pick. You got Joey Bart, who you had last year on a bargain deal, was damn good last year. This year, he completely stunk. And Endy Rodriguez, who is turning out to be, he's made of glass because he cannot stay on the field. So three major league catchers. If you're going to, bring up Flores here, you think he's going to be a long-term catcher for you, how are you going to, get him, make a spot for him on the big league roster here? So, yeah, that's con number two. Minus number three here is that the number 8 and number, 14 was Eglin Perez overall prospect that you got back for David Bednar, who is a hell of a closer. Why couldn't you get more? Is my question. Because MLB insider John Morosi said it today that I've never seen a relief pitcher market like this at the deadline. They are getting more value than I've seen in all my years of covering baseball. That's basically what John Morosi said. I'm going to go over the couple of recent deals that have happened here over the past 24 hours. Yesterday, the San Francisco Giants, they got Blake Tidwell, Drew Gilbert, and one more player, Jose Buto, relief pitcher, in return for Tyler Rogers, who's a decent, late inning reliever. They got Tidwell, who was once a top prospect, up pretty high in the Mets system, number 10 prospect right now. Outfielder Drew Gilbert, who was once a top 10 prospect with the Astros, then became the number 12 prospect with the Mets. And then you got Jose Buto, who's got 4 years of control on him at a pretty reasonable price, and he's doing he's an all right reliever. So that was a hell of a return there for the Giants. Yohan Duran, another closing pitcher, got traded last night from the Minnesota Twins for the number 4 and number 6 prospects for the Philadelphia Phillies, catcher Eduardo Tate and right-handed pitcher Mick Abel. Now, as soon as I saw that, Yohan Duran, top 3 closer in the big leagues, David Bednar, when he is at the top of his game, he is also up in that upper echelon of closers. So immediately, I'm looking for a return like that. 2 top 10 prospects at least. Maybe you get something thrown in there on the end. That's not what the Pirates got. Right-handed pitcher Ryan Helsley, who people like to compare to David Bednar. I say Bednar is better. He went to the Mets last night. In return, the Cardinals got the number 8, number 14 prospects from the Mets and another right-handed pitcher. So similar deal there. I would have gotten more for Bednar because he's better than Helsley, in my opinion. And then the big one, San Diego Padres today, 5 hours ago, they got J.P. Sears, starting pitcher, and probably one of the best closers in the big leagues when he's at the top of his game. I think, when I think of top closers in the major leagues, my mind goes to Emmanuel Clase, Yohan Duran, Edwin Diaz, and Mason Miller and David Bednar when Bednar is at the height of his powers. They're up there. That trade package, Sears, the starting pitcher, and Miller, the closer, got the Oakland Athletics, the number 1 prospect in the Padres system, in a top 5 prospect in all of Major League Baseball, Leo DeVries. And also on top of that, they got 3 more top 30 prospects from the Padres. Their number 3 prospect, pitcher Braden Nett, and their number 13 and 17th prospect as well. So you're seeing all these, late inning closing pitchers get dealt for great, inflated values here. What the Pirates, they had a golden opportunity to get, an overpayment on David Bednar, and instead they settled with just an average, run-of-the-mill at best return for Bednar. I think it was John Heyman who said last night that the Pirates were raising their price tag on David Bednar. That to me then, makes me question what the hell was their price tag to begin with. Was it, just one top 30 prospect? Maybe you get still Rafael Flores, but instead of getting the 14th prospect, you get their 20th or their 25th, something like that. Just, I can't stand Ben Cherington anymore. I know all of you watching this can't stand him either, but what a freaking botched move right there, where you had a golden opportunity to sell high on your closer, and instead you took, what would be a mid-season return instead of a trade deadline return when teams get desperate to overspend. Unbelievable. And the final thing here I want to say on this deal, I said it, the Bucks, they already have 3 big league catchers that they've invested a lot into. They, got rid of a Pittsburgh kid, and in return they got a big league ready catcher who is going to be, blocked right now. A 19-year-old catcher who's a $155 soaking wet, and some random outfielder in single A. What makes this completely and totally puzzling to me is they let, first and foremost, Ben Cherington, who should have been fired or at the very least needs to be a sitting Duck general manager right now, where his ass is getting canned in the offseason. Crazy that they let him make this trade, especially if he does get fired in the offseason. But also, Ben Cherington, just over the weekend, dropped a banger quote saying that every move that the Pirates are going to make for this trade deadline is to make the 2026 Pittsburgh Pirates better and to give them the best chance to be a competitive team competing for a playoff spot in 2026. Getting rid of, a fan favorite good closer who recently has, refound his all-star form. Getting rid of that guy, I don't care that he has, just 1 year left on his deal and then he's going to be free agent eligible in 2027. I don't care about that. If 2026 is the end-all be-all for you as a GM, which if for some mind-boggling reason where only God up above knows why this is happening, if for some strange reason Ben Cherington is the general manager next year and 2026 is as important as he says it is, that means that next season is for his job. Why are we getting rid of, when he's at his best, top 10 reliever in baseball? Why? I don't care that he has 1 year left on his deal, and I don't care that the team is completely and totally ass because they left Ben Cherington in charge. I don't care if the team, is ass this year. You should still be buyers at the trade deadline. Being dangled out there right now, the Cleveland Guardians, they are in fire sale mode right now. They are dangling out there Stephen Kwan. You're telling me the Pirates can't part ways with, a top 5 pitcher in their pipeline, and then maybe, I don't know, another big leaguer of some sort for, Stephen Kwan, or do the same thing. This is more of a baseball trade here, but the Pirates, they're obviously stronger pitching than they are hitting. Mitch Keller, rumor has it, and I believe it was Heyman again who dropped this morning, that the Pirates have been listening on Mitch Keller, but now there is a decent chance he stays in Pittsburgh past this deadline. The only way I'm moving off of Mitch Keller is if I were to get an outfielder, Jarren Duran or Steven Kwan. Those two outfielders are being dangled out there. Don't get why the Pirates are, I can understand them hardcore selling guys like, Andrew Heaney, Caleb Ferguson, which he got dealt last night, Tommy Pham, guys who are going to be gone on 1-year contracts. But, David Bednar, I would have expected, major league ready player, which you got in Flores, but not 2 A-ball players after him. I would rather, skip the 2 A-ball players and have gotten back, major league type, player, someone who's already on the Yankees roster, or, instead of getting the 14th overall prospect in the Yankees pipeline, I would have also gotten, instead of the 14th prospect, maybe the 17th or 18th prospect who I know is in Double-A and could be up next year, maybe. So, freaking annoying. David Bednar gone. So, good luck in the Bronx, Bednar. Not too many people happy with this deal. Maybe, something else coming down the line here. Who knows? Real quick, before we get into more of the, national baseball trades that have happened today and yesterday. 2 trades were made last night by the Pirates. First off, they traded Ke'Bryan Hayes, third baseman. He is officially and finally off the team. They shipped him to the Cincinnati Reds in division trade for left-handed veteran reliever, 34 years old, Taylor Rogers, and infield prospect, 20-year-old Sammy Stafura, a shortstop in Single-A. He was the number 9 prospect in the Reds' top 30 prospect pipeline, according to MLB.com. He's now in the Pirates system. He is the number 7 prospect in the Bucks system. One thing that the Pirates did not mention with their official posting of the trade that the Reds put out there, the Pirates also got cash considerations in this deal. Something we did not know immediately last night, but interesting. Shipping off a player, and in return, you maybe get, a lesser return, but hey, you also get to put money in your pocket. Typical Bob Nutting right there. Also, real quick, finishing up on the Hayes trade, is that talking about Ke'Bryan Hayes here, it was time. Loved Ke'Bryan Hayes when he came up back in 2020. Had, always had good defensive traits, was a Gold Glover winner. You can look at some plays that he makes, in a year at third base, and, you would say, wow, only, 5% of big leaguers are making that stop. But his droughts, and I mean desert, miles on miles of just sand around here, droughts with the bat were just too unbearable. So, that was why Hayes needed to go. Great fielder, just couldn't hit worth a damn, and was also making a whole bunch of money. The Pirates, they can get very similar, play from Jared Triolo, who's in Triple-A right now. So good luck to Ke'Bryan Hayes, except for when he plays the Pirates with the Reds. I'm going to take that as, a washout trade, maybe a slight win for the Buccos, though that could turn on its head very, very quickly if the Reds, do somehow find a way to get Hayes hitting again with regularity. Pirates also made a second trade yesterday, just a minor one here. They shipped off left-handed reliever Caleb Ferguson. He was expected to get moved, just a 1-year deal in the offseason for him. He was traded to the Seattle Mariners for their number 13 prospect, 19-year-old Jeter Martinez. In A-ball, Martinez Bit of a flamethrower. Think he can touch 100 with his stuff from what I've seen, but he is erratic with his control. A 6.18 ERA down there in single A. Maybe now that he is in a organization that develops pitching almost 10 times better than they're hitting. Maybe Martinez can, figure something out and, become a good, big leaguer one day. One last thing here, moving back to the Ke'Bryan Hayes trade for a second. He did today put out a statement regarding his departure from Pittsburgh, posted this to all of his social media platforms. Man, where do I begin? I'd like to first start by saying thank you to the Pittsburgh Pirates for believing in me as a player by drafting me and making my dream come true back in 2015. I'm also thankful for all the fans who have supported me through the ups and downs. I'm forever grateful for the relationships and memories that were created with all my teammates and staff throughout the years. I have learned a lot about myself on and off the field and will carry these experiences with me moving forward. While I am excited about the next chapter with the Cincinnati Reds, I wish the Pittsburgh Pirates nothing but the best and continued success in the future. A very classy response there and a heartfelt one too from Ke'Bryan Hayes. I think, we can talk about where it all went wrong here in Pittsburgh. I think it became very evident over the past, year or so that he became unhappy with in Pittsburgh. Body language was not there, was, constantly dealing with back issues. And I think, both ways it was by, very much the Pirates doing that. He got messed up here in a ton of ways, but also, his doing, glad to see that he still wished the team continued success. And, even though he goes out on a sour note, we'll thank him for the bright spots, seeing him constantly flashing web gems here in Pittsburgh. Okay, that is what all the Pirates did. 8 of you in here right now. Welcome to the stream. Just recapped in the first 25 minutes or so of the program what all the Pirates have done thus far in this trade deadline. Now going to talk about some other trades that have gone down within the last 24 hours. If you look at the bottom of your screen right now, you'll see across the ticker there all of the major big league moves that have happened in the past 24 hours. Right now, looking at all the recent trades, going back a couple of days ago now, Danny Jansen, nice defensive catcher from the Tampa Bay Rays. He is going to the Milwaukee Brewers for a minor league infielder. Also, the Rays, shipping out Danny Jansen. They also brought back a catcher from the Miami Marlins, an in-state trade. They get Nick Fortes for a minor league outfielder. Pretty major trade right here. The Toronto Blue Jays, they were one of the teams in the hunt for David Bednar and even Mitch Keller. But on Saturday, they got, on Tuesday, they got Sir Anthony Dominguez, former Philadelphia Philly, also former Baltimore Oriole. He got traded to Toronto for a prospect pitcher. Yesterday now, these are all trades from yesterday. Austin Slater, left fielder for the Chicago White Sox. He goes to New York Yankees for a prospect pitcher. So Yankees getting some okay outfield depth there. Like I said, they got Jason Dominguez, Cody Bellinger, Trent Grisham, Aaron Judge up there right now. So Austin Slater, he could, maybe get hot here with a new organization, be a okay bottom of the lineup outfielder for them. Also hits lefties pretty well from what I heard. LA Angels, for once, they're actually buyers at this year's deadline. They, yesterday, getting 2 relievers from the Washington Nationals, Luis Garcia and Andrew Chafin, 2 veteran relievers right there. Jake Eder and prospect first baseman Sam Brown going the other way. Colorado Rockies, they sent another reliever to the Atlanta Braves, Tyler Kinley, right-handed pitcher. In return, they got a minor league pitcher, Austin Smith. Another big one, what we talked about, when comparing what the Pirates got to the David Bednar trade, Tyler Rogers, very nice, 7th, 8th inning reliever for the San Francisco Giants. Also, isn't he the one guy who damn near skins his hand on the mound when he delivers his pitch? He is heading to New York to the Mets. Blade Tinwell, Drew Gilbert, and reliever Jose Buto are the return in that deal to the Giants. Good deal right there for the G-Men. Another big one, what we talked about, these two trades pretty much back-to-back, and the second of the two in response to the first one, the Philadelphia Phillies, they get a closer for the postseason, Yohan Duran from the Minnesota Twins, who the Twins, they are in fire sale mode. Everything must go. Going to talk about 4 or 5 trades that they have done today alone. So, they ship off Duran to the Philadelphia Phillies. They get 2 top 10 Philly prospects, Eduardo Tate and Mick Abel in return. And then the Mets again last night doubling down on the bullpen. They get closer Ryan Presley from the Arizona Cardinals. From the St. Louis Cardinals. In return, the Cardinals get prospects Jesus Baez and Nate Dome, and a minor league pitcher, Frank Elisalt. The Detroit Tigers, they unlike the Minnesota Twins, who are fire selling everything on their team, they are buying relievers left and right. The Tigers last night getting Rafael Montero from the Atlanta Braves. They were also a dark horse for David Bednar. Chicago Cubs did a buy low, patchwork addition to their starting rotation. Mike Soroka from the Washington Nationals goes to Chi-Town for prospect outfielder Christian Franklin and prospect shortstop Ronnie Cruz. Decent trade right here. This was a part of a 3-team trade. The Cincinnati Reds, they also add to their rotation. They get Zach Littell from the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays, in return, get Adam Serwinowski and Brian Van Bell, 2 minor league pitchers. And the second part of this 3-team trade, they get catcher Hunter Fiducia in exchange from the LA Dodgers. They get Hunter Fiducia for catcher Ben Rotvort, pitcher Paul Gervais, and then Serwinowski, who they got from the Reds, gets flipped to the Dodgers. Boston Red Sox, interesting deadline for them. Are they going to buy? Are they possibly going to sell? They made a minor move last night, or really, I should say, this morning. This was a past midnight deal right here. They get Steven Matz, veteran lefty starter / reliever from the St. Louis Cardinals, for a AAA first baseman, Blaze Jordan. Massive trade, possibly the biggest player to be on the move at this deadline. This one also a past midnight trade early this morning. A Eugenio Suarez, veteran third baseman, hitting home runs left and right so far this year. I believe he's got 35, 36 dongs so far this year, and most of those before the All-Star break. He is back with the Seattle Mariners. So Seattle going all in for the postseason. Suarez up there. In exchange, the Arizona Diamondbacks, they got back a haul, 3 top 30 prospects. First baseman Tyler Locklear, and 2 pitchers, Juan Burgos and Hunter Cranton. Another minor trade right here. The Houston Astros, they got some infield depth. Raymond Urias from the Baltimore Orioles in exchange for minor league pitcher Twine Palmer. Another minor addition for the Chicago Cubs. Also, the Baltimore Orioles selling again. Andrew Kittredge is going to the Chicago Cubs for prospect shortstop Wilfrey De La Cruz. Now we're into some trades that came across early this morning, 9:43, the trade deadline day. Starting off with a bang, Shane Bieber going to the Cleveland Guardians for the number 5 overall prospect of the Toronto Blue Jays, pitcher Carl Steven. So Shane Bieber, the Cleveland Guardians, they are trading, looking to offload some big names there. Bieber and Steven Kwan, their top 2 players available. Kwan still in Cleveland right now, but Bieber going to the Jays this morning. Like I said, the Detroit Tigers, they are making a heavy play in the reliever market today. They got 2 relievers, one this morning, one this afternoon, in addition to who they got yesterday. Paul Sewald from the Guardians is heading to Detroit for a player to be named later or cash considerations. And then Kyle Finnegan, the former closer for the Washington Nationals, goes to Detroit as well for 2 prospect pitchers, Josh Randall and RJ Sales. Probably one of the more massive trades that you will see today on deadline day. Mason Miller, all-star closing pitcher for the Athletics, which I'm looking here. I'm on TSN's, trade tracker. They just have the former Oakland Athletics as the Athletics. So the Athletics, they trade Mason Miller, their all-star closer, and an okay left-handed starting pitcher, J.P. Sears, to the San Diego Padres for the Padres' top prospect and one of the top 5 prospects in all of baseball, 18-year-old Leo DeVries. Also, the Athletics get 3 more top 30 prospects, Braden Nett, Henry Baez, and Eduardo Nunez, 3 pitchers, along with DeVries. Catching up here on some of the trades that have come across in the past handful of hours. Harrison Bader, center fielder for the Minnesota Twins, is heading to Philly for minor league outfielder Hendry Mendez and pitcher Jeremy Villoria. LA Dodgers, a minor addition to their bullpen. Again, the Minnesota Twins selling off a piece of their pen. Brock Stewart going to the Dodgers for outfielder James Outman. Cody Hearer going to Detroit as well from the Texas Rangers for cash considerations. Pretty big trade here. This one happening just over 2 hours ago, or just under 2 hours ago. Cedric Mullins, center fielder for the Baltimore Orioles, having quite the year in the Bay, is heading to the New York Mets, for 3 prospects. 2 pitchers, Raymond Gomez and Chandler Marsh, and third baseman Anthony Nunez. So big sell there for the Baltimore Orioles. Another addition to the New York Yankees bullpen. They are going heavy with relievers. Jake Bird, reliever for the Colorado Rockies, is going from the worst team in baseball to one of the best, heading to the Rockies. 2 prospects, top 30 prospects for the Yankees, second baseman Rock Riggio and pitcher Ben Shields. San Diego Padres not done adding. They get 2 catchers. Or no, they get a catcher, one catcher, Freddie Fermin, and also... No, that is all they get. They get a catcher, Freddie Fermin, from the Kansas City Royals. The Royals getting 2 pitchers in return, Ryan Bergert and Stephen Kolek. One of the biggest trades of the deadline day as well, Carlos Correa, former Houston Astro, going back to Houston where they won the World Series a couple times together. Correa going there to play third base, so switching from shortstop to third base. A player to be determined is the return for the Twins right now. Catching up on some of the newest trades that have come across since we have been live. the Astros, in addition to Carlos Correa, they are bringing in left fielder Jesus Sanchez from the Miami Marlins. Sanchez was being rumored around last year's trade deadline as well, but he goes in this year's trade deadline. Ryan Gustavo, right-handed pitcher, and prospects Chase Jaworski, a shortstop, and Esmil Valencia, a center fielder, are going in return to the Marlins. The Twins, again, sending a reliever out the door. Danny Colomba is going to the Texas Rangers. Return on that trade not yet figured out. Big trade here. The Baltimore Orioles making another massive sale. First baseman Ryan O'Hearn going from the Orioles along with center fielder Ramon Laureano. So a package of two of the top players available at this deadline going to the Padres. Return to be determined there. Minor league trade between the Toronto Blue Jays and San Diego Padres just went down 15 minutes ago. Catcher Brandon Valenzuela is going to Toronto for third baseman Will Wagner. And the most recent trade that just came across 4 minutes ago, actually, I guess I can do this. It's within 5 minutes, so I'm going to hit it. The Washington Nationals doing a deal with the LA Dodgers. Alex Call, center fielder, is heading to the Dodgers. No return yet for the Nationals. So that is all the trades we are now caught up on. Now we will be breaking stuff pretty new here for the last now 50 minutes until the trade deadline. Still lots of players being dangled out there, especially for the Pirates. You know, Tommy Pham, Andrew Heaney, they're expected to be moved. Maybe Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Mitch Keller, and Dennis Santana. I think they're still, you know, at least keeping an open ear on deals for them. So we will wait and see what else the Pirates do here, you know, before the deadline. Again here, the have MLB Network on here to my right, looking at the Detroit Tigers. They have made a massive addition of pitchers. They got starter Chris Paddock from the Minnesota Twins, and on top of that, 5 or 6 relievers, all right-handers too. So they are desperate for pitching help. They're up in Detroit. 6 of you in here right now. Welcome to the stream. Hope a trade deadline Thursday is going good for you. We are waiting here for the next 50 minutes to see what deals come across the wire. Will the Pirates make another big move or not? We will see. So those of you who are new here, please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I'm live again. We are at 475 subscribers on the channel. We will have to see if we can get up to 500 subscribers here within the next couple of streams. That would be awesome. Also, like and share this live stream, get some more viewers in here, and leave a comment in the comment section. Any thoughts, opinions, reactions that you have on any of the deals that come across today. Be sure to get those in there. See if there's any rumors being floated out there by the insiders on X. Seeing a video here of David Bednar. We all know in Pittsburgh. Wonder if he'll keep it up there in New York. Renegade, a song beloved, kind of the anthem of Pittsburgh, especially at Steelers games. Renegade was David Bednar's entrance song. Wonder if he will keep that potentially up in New York. But seeing here a video of his entrance from the pen, one of his entrances, uh, we should have not have been, surprised that Bednar got dealt as maybe some of us were. I believe it was Greg Brown, Pirates play-by-play commentator, who said in the most recent Pirates home series, which I'm trying to remember what team they were playing, Bednar came in one of those ball games, got the save, and then well after the game, well after most fans, if not all fans, left the ballpark, Bednar by himself was back out there on the field, sort of taking in the sights. Of course, PNC Park, most beautiful ballpark in America, was looking at the Pittsburgh skyline with, I'm sure, much love because he is a, born and bred Western Pennsylvanian. Also took pictures of the skyline when he was leaving the field through the gate down the right field line. Once again, stopped before continuing on out of the ballpark, turned around, took one last look at PNC Park, and I think he, had a good idea or a good, feeling, whether it was from, something the general manager told him or possibly from his agent, that was going to be the final time that he pitched in PNC Park as a Pirate. Who knows? If I had to guess, unless he goes chasing some big-time money this offseason, which he has every single right to do so for, with a smile, putting up with playing for this absolutely horrendous organization that doesn't know how to run a baseball team. I wouldn't blame him if he goes chasing the money, but I would, at least someday, very much down the line, give David Bednar a half-decent chance of possibly making a return to the Bird someday, just like Andrew McCutchen did. So, who knows? Going to do an update here on the ticker at the bottom of the screen with all the trades that have gone down so far. Going to add in at least this big one here. Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn from the Baltimore Orioles. There it is. Most recent trade right there. Bottom of the screen. All the biggest trades from the past couple of days, including today. Waiting to see if something new comes across. Another thing that, really, annoys me with the Pittsburgh Pirates is still, though, the comment that Ben Cherington made a couple of days ago on the weekend. He has a radio show here in Pittsburgh saying every move that the Pirates make at the trade deadline will be to get this team to compete in 2026. He did today and yesterday with the trades of Key Brian Hayes, Caleb Ferguson, and David Bednar. He did clear, $20 million off of the Pirates' books. But also, do you really expect him or Bob Nutting to spend those $20 million wisely? Or to, even spend it, period? I don't. Another thing here, looking at the Pirates' top 30 prospects here on MLB Pipeline. Looking at their top 13 prospects. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For a team that, they want to compete here in 2026. What did I just say? 6 or 7 of their prospects are in A ball or lower. High A, low A, rookie development league. the trades that Ben Cherington has made so far, you would think for a guy who wants to get this team better, if he sells off guys, you would like to think that the team would get back, someone at the very, lowest is in, double A, who's ready to graduate to triple A, or someone in triple A ready to graduate to the big leagues or a big leaguer. But he has gotten nothing of that so far. He's gotten four A-ball prospects and one AAA prospect and one big league 34-year-old lefty reliever who I honestly wouldn't be shocked if he gets dealt here within the next 40 minutes either. Looking here at what's going on Twitter, seeing if any of the insiders are posting anything interesting. John Heyman, who has been one of the better insiders to follow this trade deadline, says that the Yankees are still talking to teams about adding a starting pitcher. No word on if anything is close yet. Still a good bit of starting pitchers out there. Mitch Keller, Sandy Alcantara, Andrew Heaney. I know that the Yankees, I think it was Heyman too, who said the Yankees have had interest in Heaney. At least going back a couple of days now. That's another thing, the Athletics, they traded their all-star closer and a, bottom of the rotation lefty starting pitcher to the Padres, and they got their top prospect in return. I know the Yankees, they didn't want to, for some strange reason, part ways with Spencer Jones to get something monumental back. But if the Pirates, what if they could have done it? If they would have, could they have shipped off Bednar with Heaney? And instead of getting Rafael Flores, maybe you could have coaxed them into getting Spencer Jones, say, hey, you're getting two players for one prospect here? Or could they have gotten, I don't know if I would have taken this guy. He is going to be ready by 2027, same or just about the same ETA to the big leagues as Rafael Flores, George Lombard, their top prospect. So, I don't know. Probably see Andrew Heaney get shipped off for a lottery ticket here in the coming days, or in the coming minutes here. One other thing I wanted to bring up here, I'm seeing a picture here of somebody putting out Ben Cherington. I've heard this being discussed on the radio, but I'll bring it up here. Is Ben Cherington, is he officially the worst general manager in the history of not just the Pittsburgh Pirates, but of Pittsburgh sports? The Pirates, they've had a couple doozies of general managers over their tenure. The Penguins, they had Ron Hextall, who, did a good job slamming the competitive window of the Pittsburgh Penguins closed. Could, we be seeing Ben Cherington take the top spot on the podium away from Ron Hextall of flying colors? I think we are. 6 years on the job, and he hasn't done a damn thing to get this team back winning. After the past 2 years where they had the same record, you would have expected this year for them to go out in the offseason, go big game hunting, and be a team that is buying at this deadline instead of sailing. But instead, they're here in the basement, firmly in the basement of the MLB again, with the likes of the White Sox and Rockies. A catastrophic year gone wrong, and no accountability has been shown where Ben Cherington is gonna, we can't say he's firmly, confidently gonna get fired. No accountability in the organization whatsoever. He is the worst GM in Pittsburgh sports history. I will say that. Looking here, a bit of a lull here in the trades. Merrill Kelly and Dylan Cease, two other starting pitchers. They are also available, just like Alcantara and Keller. The San Diego Padres and Houston Astros, they are in the running for Dylan Cease. Wait, hang on. Did I read that right? Yeah, Padres and Astros, they remain in discussions on Cease. Looks like we got a trade here. Hold up. Looks like we got something here. Gotta hit it. Gotta hit it. This here from Jeff Passan. Hang on. The Texas Rangers are acquiring Merrill Kelly from the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Boston Red Sox were in on Kelly. They could not finalize a deal. Now he is going from Arizona to Texas. The Rangers, they get a veteran starting pitcher for their potential postseason push. We'll see if there's any return on that. Couple of return updates from some earlier trades. We said Danny Colomb was going from the Minnesota Twins to the Texas Rangers, a relief pitcher. In return, the Twins, they are getting pitcher Garrett Horn. Not sure if he is a probably a AAA, okay, minor leaguer right there. Also, another compensation update. Alex Call, who we said was going from the Nationals to the Dodgers, he is going back the other way from the Dodgers. Will be Eric Swan and Sean Paul Lennon. So two prospect pitchers from the Dodgers to the Nationals there. Now we await a update here on what will be acquired by the Diamondbacks for Merrill Kelly, who is out the door. In the meantime here, while we have a little bit of a break in the trade action, want to talk about a couple other things. Let's go here to some extra Pittsburgh sports news. We don't talk about just the Pirates on this channel. We also talk about the Steelers and Penguins as well. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers just for a hot second. They today had another practice at training camp at St. Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Their second day in pads. They put the pads on for the first time yesterday. It was a physical practice, lots of drills. And I lied, actually, just now. They were not in pads today. So after a day in the pads yesterday, they were out of the pads today. And for good reason, they moved up their practice from 1:55 in the afternoon, which is when they usually have it, up to 10 o'clock this morning. A couple interesting things we saw out there today. Practice starting at 10 a.m. The Steelers, they worked out defensive tackle Cameron Young, former Seattle Seahawk. No word on if he, is going to be signed yet by the Steelers. Just, a camp body, I'm sure, defensive tackle there. Reason why he was worked out. Ezi Otumemwo, minor offseason addition for the Steelers, went down with a knee injury in practice yesterday. Good news, though, even with Otemo going on the injury list for the Steelers, one guy came off of it, starting left guard Isaac Seumalo, off the NFI non-football injury list this morning, was at practice out there working, looks pretty healthy to me, so Seumalo back out there today. Great to see that he is healthy and ready to get back fully implemented here with the team. Steelers had an interesting personnel lineup once again for the second day in a row. We saw an 0-4 personnel, 4 tight ends on the field at once for the Steelers. Artie Smith having a field day with this great group of tight ends that the Steelers have. Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, Connor Hayward, and the new guy, Jonnu Smith, who is going to be a big part of this offense. He was lined up alongside Aaron Rodgers in the backfield when Rodgers was under center. Jonnu Smith was then given a toss, and he also had a handoff too. So looks like how, the two guys that the Steelers brought, in for Minkah Fitzpatrick, Jalen Ramsey on defense and Jonnu Smith on offense. Looks like Smith, just like Ramsey on the defense, is going to be used in a lot of different ways. Talking about tight end, slot receiver, even, fullback, running back. Looks like he is going to do it all. Arthur Smith going to have a fun time with Jonnu Smith. Also, before practice started officially today, we saw punter Cam Johnston, who Danny Smith, Steelers special teams coordinator, on the Pat McAfee show. Smith said that Cameron Johnston, even though he's the veteran, he is not guaranteed a roster spot. Smith calling it a training camp battle between Johnston and Cortlis Waitman, who Waitman came in when Johnston got injured last year. So Johnston was out there. He is just murdering footballs before practice. Great to see that he is healthy. Also, before practice started, TJ Watt and Cam Hayward, they were not in uniform today. It looks like they are taking a veteran day off. I could see that from them. Practice yesterday afternoon, early practice the next day. I think they've earned the right to take an off day. Also, Broderick Jones, who was dealing with a groin injury, looks like he was back out there, doing some individual stuff. Not sure if he took part in team drills or not. Before we get into what went on when practice officially started for the Pittsburgh Steelers, we have another trade alert in the MLB. The Chicago Cubs, division rival of the Pittsburgh Pirates, they are making an addition to their infield. They are getting utility player. This guy mainly a middle infielder, put him at shortstop or second base. Willie Castro, the Minnesota Twins, they are doing a complete and total overhaul of their team. They ship off Castro to the Chicago Cubs. No word yet on the return. Insane right now what the Minnesota Twins are doing. They are selling off players left and right. Carlos Correa, gone. Willie Castro, gone. Harrison Bader in the outfield, gone. Pretty much every single relief pitcher that they have, gone. Starting pitcher Chris Paddock, gone. Massive fire sale in Minnesota right now. That trade just broken right now from Jeff Passan, ESPN MLB insider, kind of like the Adam Schefter of baseball. Before I get back into what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing in training camp, and before we continue coverage of the MLB Trade Deadline, which the deadline now 25 minutes away, 6 p.m. is the deadline. Let's go to the comments here. Freight Train, constant viewer of mine. Welcome back, good buddy Freight Train. Damn, I thought I was getting here on time. That's all right, Freight Train. You're just in time for the 6 p.m. Deadline, now 25 minutes away. So, yeah, that's when that is. Trade alert going off here on MLB Network. They are, a couple minutes behind, announcing these deadlines. So, 6 p.m. now, 25 minutes away is the trade deadline. We'll see if the Pirates, if they can make any move. I was going to say, any big move, but any move, period, before the deadline. And like I said, some still rentals out there. Tommy Pham available. Andrew Heaney, I'm sure, is available. Guys who I guarantee you will not be here after this season is over. They signed one-year deals, and I'm sure they would like to go to contending teams. Also, Mitch Keller and Dennis Santana, they are, two relievers still rumored, or two pitchers still rumored to be available as well. Will the Pirates make any trades? I got to tell you, if I had to pick out of those four names that I just mentioned, one guy who concrete needs to get off this team, and he's been okay, it has to be Andrew Heaney. You benefit nothing by keeping Andrew Heaney on this ball club right now, because he is just taking up a spot in the rotation. He's just the guy. And I don't mean that as a slight or derogatory thing towards Andrew Heaney whatsoever. He's just the guy, and he will be blocking you from seeing someone else up in this rotation currently in the minors for the Pirates. You want to give Thomas Harrington another go in the big leagues, see what you got in that, and he can take Heaney's place. Do you want to finally, after months now of us saying, where the hell is this guy, call up Bubba Chandler and get him, up in the big leagues and give him a spot in the rotation? He can take Heaney's spot. You want to see what you have in Johan Oviedo, who was on pace, on trajectory of being a solid middle of the rotation big league pitcher for you before he got injured. Do you want to see how he is bouncing back off of Tommy John surgery? He can take Andrew Heaney's spot. The Pirates, they benefit nothing by keeping Andrew Heaney, especially on this ball club past 6 p.m. here today. I know you're going to get a, probably a lottery ticket 18, 19-year-old who's a, bottom 30, or who's like in the, late 20s, or even outside of a team's top 30 prospect system. Just, it benefits you nothing to keep Andrew Heaney on the books right now, past the trade deadline. Just seeing there, lots of the MLB talking lots about the Minnesota Twins today. They are selling everything. I think now that Merrill Kelly is off the books, trying to think of some starting pitchers who teams are after that are available. You got Keller and Heaney for the Bucks. Sandy Alcantara down there in Miami. You still have, I guess, Dylan Cease available for the San Diego Padres. You got, I think Joe Ryan, actually, for the Minnesota Twins, talking about them. He still might be available. So we will see if any other big fireworks come across here in the next 23 minutes now. Interesting, we got another trade alert here that just happened a couple of minutes ago, a minor trade. I guess this is to make room for, I don't know, who all did they acquire at the deadline right now? Let me look here. The Yankees, they are making some traction here. I guess this is to make room for Austin Slater on their team. The Yankees, they are trading a former prospect of theirs and still a young big leaguer. This guy's still pretty young in his big league career. Shortstop Oswald Peraza is going from the Bronx all the way out to Anaheim. So no return yet. What's going to the Yankees? Oswald Peraza from the Yankees to the Angels. Is this just the Yankees making, say, hey, this guy is clearly blocked and we need to make room on our big league roster? Let's trade him off to a team that is looking to make, low value buys at the deadline in the Angels, or are the Angels actually sending back something of significance to New York? We will have to wait and see there. Getting back into real quick some extra Pittsburgh sports news here as we wait for more information on trades to come across here. Wrapping up what happened at Steelers training camp here today. When practice officially begins, Steelers, like usual, started with their 7 shots drill. Basically, 7 fourth and fourth down plays from the 2-yard line. Who will win, the offense or the defense? The defense today, Victor's there 5-2. Aaron Rodgers went 1 for 3 in the drill, was looking for DK Metcalf twice, got a touchdown to Metcalf once on a slant against Jalen Ramsey. The other time, pass was broken up by Darius Slay. Mason Rudolph then came in for 2 plays. He hit Robert Woods, who's looking to make this team as one of the wide receivers in the corner for a touchdown against Deshaun Elliott. And then he was looking for Woods again, missed high with a pass covered by Juan Thornhill. Will Howard then came in for 2 plays. He went 0 for 2. Was sacked by Iku Leota. Going to take that as, them just calling it a sack. I doubt Howard was taken down to the ground, because they weren't in pads today. And then he missed on his second and final try. Was looking for J.J. Galbraith, who is making a hell of an impression. Undrafted free agent tight end from Minnesota. J.J. Galbraith has been Howard's guy throughout this camp. Missed him on that connection. Steelers then went into one-on-one drills, defensive backs against wide receivers. Jalen Ramsey and Calvin Austin went against each other a couple of times. Ramsey forced Austin out to win the first rep, and then I think Austin might have gotten him another time. They were chirping a very heated one-on-one drill today between wide receivers and defensive backs when Ramsey was chirping Calvin Austin, undrafted free agent receiver Rock Taylor, who I'm looking forward to seeing in a preseason game here soon. He got in Ramsey's face afterwards. Roman Wilson today, he had his best practice of training camp so far. He went up against Joey Porter Jr., and wouldn't you know, little guy beat big guy over the top. There was a deep ball down the field, and Roman Wilson, with Joey Porter Jr. Thinking he had good coverage, went up and snagged the ball for a 35-yard touchdown. So good stuff there from Roman Wilson. Darius Slay, he went up against DK Metcalf in one-on-ones. Had a good day, had 3 total breakups in the drill. Then tight ends and safeties went at it here, and we had almost a Donnybrook. Jonnu Smith, who, like I said, he is having quite a time there at training camp so far. Looks like he's going to be a big part of this offense. Went up against Juan Thornhill twice. First time, Smith makes a leaping grab over Thornhill, spikes the football at Thornhill's feet. Thornhill got up and shoved him. Jalen Ramsey, who we know he is not shy of confrontation, was playing peacemaker there. I bet you this was a Mike Tomlin thing. Immediately, those two lined up again. They went at it. Thornhill got the pass break up there. Might have held Smith a little bit, but got the incomplete pass. Then the DBs ran after Juan Thornhill. Thornhill picked up the ball, handed it to Smith, and Thornhill screaming out, "He don't know who I am." So love that friendly competition. I think it was just that. Saw Jonnu Smith talk about it after practice. He said, it's just competition at the end of the day. Like seeing that from the guys. We got into some 11-on-11 stuff then. Aaron Rodgers hit a big play to DK Metcalf, 55-yard touchdown, hit him over the middle on a crossing route. Good to see that connection is getting stronger by the day. Rodgers in an 11-on-11 went 1 for 3 in his first 11-on-11 reps. Got Peyton Wilson to jump off sides and then hit DK Metcalf for a first down. But his other 2 times, a pass broken up by Deshaun Elliott, and then an interception again. Patrick Queen, for the second time in training camp, picked off Aaron Rodgers, hoping that is a sign of promising things to come this year for Patrick Queen. After that, Mason Rudolph came in, was looking for Ben Skoranek over the middle against Juan Thornhill. Skoranek hit the ground hard, and I think that he was a little shaken up. Did not finish practice there. Hopefully things go all right for him. Then Rudolph missed another quick pass, and then Robert Woods got a quick out against Brandon Eccles. Before we continue on here, we have another big league trade, and ladies and gentlemen, the Pirates, they have made another trade. Here we go. Hang on. We were just talking about Andrew Heaney, left-handed starting pitcher, possibly getting moved, or I should say he needs to go off of this team to somewhere. They instead traded the other left-handed starting pitcher. Bailey Falter is gone. He is heading to the Kansas City Royals. That breaking from Jeff Passan just a minute ago. Let me get the banner up here. Bailey Falter is gone. Kansas City Royals get the left-hander here. Let's see what all the Bucks are getting in this deal. Falter, what's his year of controls left? I don't know, if he has any I don't know what years of control he has left here. Let's see here. Pirates have traded Bailey Falter to the Kansas City Royals per John Heyman and per Jeff Passan. Passan was the first to have it. So the Bucks, for the second time in recent weeks, they have made a deal with the Royals. Remember, what was it, about a week or so ago? It was during the trade, during the All-Star break. They traded Adam Frazier to the Royals for minor league shortstop Cam Devaney. So, what is gonna be coming the other way? Let's go to some comments real quick. Chad Schrader, welcome back, Chad. Good to have you. What's up? Yesterday, the Pat McAfee podcast at training camp was awesome, but didn't get Pat autograph. But I got Packers Hall of Famer AJ Hawk auto. That's awesome, Chad. Yeah, it looked like a hell of a time watching it on the live stream. I think that was that was cool. All-star lineup. Watt, Hayward, Tomlin, Kahn, Danny Smith is a legend. Rogers, Pittsburgh dad was there, but yeah, cool. I bet it was packed there too. Looked like it was a full crowd, max capacity at St. Vincent College. So glad you got to experience that, Chad. Flacco, welcome. Salute. What's good, Freight Train? Let's go, Thornhill. Breaking news. Yes, the breaking news. Bailey Falter gone to the Kansas City Royals. Charrington trading away pieces for A-ball players hitting 200. Awful. That's good, Chad. What's up, Flacco? Yeah, I'm going to keep my expectations very, very low on this deal. Bailey Falter heading to Kansas City. We are awaiting a return. How is Andrew Heaney not the one going? Did the Royals not have interest in him? Bailey Falter's gone, which I'm very mixed on Bailey Falter leaving. He's a Jekyll and Hyde pitcher for the most part. Honestly, though, now David Bednar and Bailey Falter, probably the two best trade acquisitions that Ben Cherington has gotten over his 6 years at the helm. Both of them gone within hours of each other. Bailey Falter, though, steady Eddie pitcher for the most part. Inning eaters. He's an inning eater. Not going to strike out a bunch of guys. Mid to low 90s fastball, though, with the pitching mechanics he has, it looks a lot faster to the batters. However, he does, has had a tendency where he can get lit up a bit early in ball games. But yeah, I think it's just a steady Eddie, number 4 or 5 pitcher in the rotation. We'll have to wait and see what the return is here. Probably going to be another A-ball player, if I had to guess. Let's see here if we get a return. We got another trade here in the meantime. Jeff Passan with another trade coming here. The LA Angels doing business again, I think. No, it is not the Angels. The Boston Red Sox. They were one of the teams, rumored to be in on Mitch Keller possibly. They are getting right-handed pitcher Dustin May from the LA Dodgers. Passan posting that one a minute ago. More here on Bailey Falter. Like I said, steady Eddie pitcher who isn't going to blow you away, but, most nights I think you know what you're going to get out of him. He's going to give up, 2-3 runs a night, not strike out a bunch of guys, but the teams that he goes against are going to put in balls. They're going to put a lot of balls in play on him. Falter this year, a 3.73 ERA, a 1.18 whip in 22 starts, under club control for 3 more years. So he did not need to be traded by any means. So we will see if, the Pirates, instead of shipping off guys who are like having 1 year's left on their deals, they're shipping off some guys with club control. Bailey Falter gone. We got another trade here. The trades, they are starting to pour in here. We are now 9 minutes until the trade deadline. We got another trade. Another former Pirate on the move. Left fielder slash third baseman Miguel Andujar, one-time Bucko. He is going from the Athletics to the Cincinnati Reds. So the Reds cornering the market on former Pirates this trade deadline. That's 3 minutes ago from Robert Murray, that trade announced. Crazy here. Crazy take here. Harold Reynolds of MLB Network. I did not hear it because, I got one ear cuff on here. MLB Network going off right here. He is saying right now, this is the time for the Pirates to trade Paul Skeens. What a moronic take that is. Just because the Pirates are run by morons doesn't mean they need to keep, make the most moronic trade of all. They've made their fair share of moronic trades today, but let's pipe down here, Harold Reynolds. Let's see here if we get any update on the return for Bailey Falter. And we do here. The return for Bailey Falter. Looks like the Pirates, they are getting 2 minor leaguers here. Oh, wait, where'd it go? The Pirates, they are getting left-handed relief pitcher Evan Sisk and first baseman Callan Moss. All right, I've at least heard of Evan Sisk a little bit. I think he's just, a AAA lefty reliever, was once a prospect. Now he's like 26, 27 years old. So a very, nothing burger there. And Callan Moss, never heard of him, so I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that he is in high A ball. Let me go here to MLB Pipeline or see if anything is going on. Let's start with Evan Sisk. We got another trade here. Big trade just going down here. Jeff Passan with another massive one. The Tampa Bay Rays selling once again. The New York Yankees are acquiring shortstop Jose Caballero from the Tampa Bay Rays. Looks like the Yankees, they have had enough of Anthony Volpe and his league-leading 16 errors. at shortstop so far this season. So they are getting an insurance policy, an insurance addition there, getting Jose Caballero from the Rays. Let me go here. Wait. Sisk. Let's see what Evan Sisk is all about. 28 years old, 6'2", 209, lefty reliever. Currently with the AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals, not anymore. This year, he has an 0-2 record, has appeared in 31 games. In 28 and 2/3 innings pitched, he has 36 strikeouts and a 3.77 ERA, a 1.60 whip. And in the meantime, let's look up here. What is Callan Moss all about? Callan Moss, wouldn't you know it, a single-A affiliate player of the Royals, 21 years old, 6'3", 225, in single-A with the Quad City River Bandits. He has played in, it doesn't say how many games he's played in. He has had 330 at-bats. He has a 270 batting average and a 790 OPS. 7 home runs, 70 RBIs. So, in return for Bailey Falter, who's a decent starting pitcher, Ben Cherington got back a who-the-hell-are-you reliever who probably isn't going to reach the big leagues. And if he does for the Pirates, he's going to be here for like a year or two, and then he's going to be a constant floater between the, AAA and the MLB. He's a 4A reliever. And they also got a 21-year-old single-A first baseman who has just 7 home runs, so I'm going to assume he doesn't have a bunch of power, who will not even sniff the big leagues with this team. Typical. All right, that was that. Bailey Falter, we barely knew ye. Trades coming in left and right now. We are 4 minutes away from the deadline. I'm going to be hitting this thing like crazy. Trades coming in like crazy. The Tampa Bay Rays, they just sold Jose Caballero to the New York Yankees. They are both selling and buying right now. They are getting Adrian Hauser, a right-handed starting pitcher from the Chicago White Sox. He has been rumored to be on the move here today. So Hauser going from the White Sox to the Rays. Also another trade alert. Another reliever on the move. Phil Maton, former Houston Astro, was with the St. Louis Cardinals this year. He is going to the Texas Rangers from St. Louis. So the trades, they are coming fast and furious here. We're going to be on past the trade deadline a little bit to make sure we get all of the news in here. I think that is all the trades. Hang on here. We actually do have one more that I've missed here. According to TSN's trade tracker, I like how they format their trade tracker. Nestor Cortez, a left-handed starting pitcher, former New York Yankee, also former Milwaukee Brewer. He has had a fall from grace in recent years ever since leaving the Yankees. He is heading out to the San Diego Padres for outfielder Brandon Lockridge. So a pretty minor major league trade there. Major league outfielder for major league starting pitcher. Neither of them really, all that good, but they're depth pieces. Brewers and Padres making that trade. Let's see if we can get anything else cooking before the deadline hits. We will table all the Steelers and Penguins talk for after all the trades have come in. Let's go to the chat real quick, see what's going on there. Damn, Pirates dumping everyone. Everyone for nothing, too, Flacco. Let's not forget that. They are dumping everyone for Jack, you-know-what. So let's go here. Okay, in my head, we're clearing the roster. No return. LOL. Glad we're revamping, though. Yeah, no real revamping or whatever. Right here, we do have some breaking news from Mark Feinsand. This is not a trade, but it does relate here to the Pirates. Mark Feinsand, MLB Insider, a damn good one for MLB.com. The Pittsburgh Pirates will not be trading either Andrew Heaney or Dennis Santana by the trade deadline. So Mark Feinsand there breaking that news. The Buccos, they will hold on to Andrew Heaney, who I would have, bet a large sum of money that he would have been gone, before today's deadline, which the deadline has officially hit. It is 6 p.m. here, Eastern time. So the trade deadline has officially come, and it will be passing here in a moment. Andrew Heaney and Dennis Santana staying put. So, if I had to guess how today would go, if I would have said the Pirates would be trading one starting pitcher and one reliever, I probably would have guessed the other two guys, other than the ones that got traded. I would have said Andrew Heaney and Dennis Santana. I would have given those guys a decent chance of getting moved. Not David Bednar or Bailey Falter. I thought Bailey Falter was one of those guys who was going to, slip under the radar and, not go anywhere. And I would have thought, if the Bucks are going to be willing to deal any left-hander, it would have been Heaney. And I would have thought, we've known in the past, Bob Nutting has vetoed trades of David Bednar. And instead, this year, David Bednar gets dealt, and Dennis Santana, the younger Dennis Santana, he gets to stay. Let's go back here to the comments. Derpy Entertainment, you said it best. Sell the freaking team, Bob. I almost said a swear word here. I want to. So bad. If there's some, big trade here coming up, now that the deadline is here, that, say they shipped off Mitch Keller, you will see me yell some profanities on here. But yeah, indeed, Derpy there. Sell the team. Looks like we got another trade alert here from Jeff Passan. A buzzer beater here and a big one. The Yankees, they make one final addition to their bullpen. And I got to wonder up there in New York who their closing pitcher is going to be. The Yankees acquire Camilo Doval from the San Francisco Giants. The Giants there, they had, I think, Doval used to be their closer. They also have Ryan Walker out there, who's a good late inning relief pitcher for them. But Camilo Doval going from one coast of the country to the other. He is going to the Yankees. And the reason why I say, who's their closer going to be, it's, they got Bednar now. They got Doval. I think they still got up there. Who is it? Who do they have? Not Trevor McGill. They got Devin Williams, the former Milwaukee Brewer. So we'll see. Yeah, I got it. Freight train. All good. All good. I should be there, Flacco. I'm not listing again. I'm not losing again. Yeah, sell the team, Derpy. Too bad Tampa Bay Rays may no longer be playing in Tampa. Yeah, they're at the Yankees training camp stadium or spring training stadium, and they also, I guess they are have they made a decision on to, repairing their old stadium? I don't know. Let's go here to Twitter, see if we see any other trades here that have come across the wire. Looks like the Pirates made a second trade here. Hang on, the Pirates have made another trade. And like we expected, Taylor Rogers, we barely knew you, acquired last night by the Pirates for Ke'Bryan Hayes. He has been traded to somewhere here. I don't see the team. I see the return. The Pirates got an outfielder, Ivan Breithauer, for Taylor Rogers. Do we know where he went? By the way, earlier, back to the return for Bailey Falter, Evan Sisk and Callan Moss, neither of them top 30 prospects for the Royals, according to MLB Pipeline. That is freaking ridiculous that the Pirates didn't get a single top 30 prospect for Bailey Falter. See here, I see Taylor Rogers got traded. I just don't see who. Okay, here we go. The Pirates traded Taylor Rogers to the Chicago Cubs for outfielder Ivan Brethauer. Never heard of Ivan Brethauer, and, I at least have a base knowledge of some of the Cubs prospects because they're in division. We got a pair of other trades here. A bunch of trades coming in here past the 6 p.m. deadline. Looks like the Toronto Blue Jays acquired Louis Varland, a relief pitcher from the Minnesota Twins. The Twins, again, they are just freaking offloading every single person in their bullpen. That bullpen, it is going to be filled with a bunch of new guys. I feel bad for the one or two guys that didn't get traded. The Twins, they finish up their trade deadline day with another member of their bullpen getting traded. Another trade here. Hang on. Looks like Griffin Jax also got dealt. The Tampa Bay Rays, they acquire right-handed reliever Griffin Jax, also from the Minnesota Twins. So the Twins getting every single member of their bullpen seemingly out the door. Wow. Looking here, did the Pirates make any other trades? Not seeing anything. We got another former Bucko on the move, however, another trade alert. Just when you think the Detroit Tigers had enough pitchers, plural, they go out and add another Charlie Morton, 40-year-old veteran with the Baltimore Orioles. At the deadline, he gets moved to a contender, maybe looking to go out on top before retirement. He is traded to the Detroit Tigers. So Charlie Morton, former Bucko, going from Baltimore to Detroit. Looking here to see if there's any other trades that the Pirates have made. Noah Hiles here of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette with maybe a little bit of an explanation as to why Bailey Falter got moved. Turns out the Pirates were not going to tender his contract in the offseason, and that Falter was going to be let go of. So even though he had 3 more years of club control, he was going to go to free agency. Now that the deadline has passed, we are now 8 minutes past the trade deadline. Have not seen anything else here on the Pirates, so it looks like not just Andrew Heaney and Dennis Santana are staying. It looks also like Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Tommy Pham will remain on board this on-fire, sinking pirate ship for at least the rest of the season. Might be one of the final trade alerts for today, and looks like a minor one here. This here from MLB Insider for The Athletic, Robert Murray. The Los Angeles Dodgers are acquiring outfield prospect James Tibbs from the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox acquired Tibbs earlier this year when they sent Rafael Devers to the San Francisco Giants. So Tibbs, one of the top 30 prospects of the Giants, goes to Boston and now back out to the West Coast to Los Angeles. Gonna do an update here on one of the trades. Mentioned Louis Varland going from the Minnesota Twins to the Toronto Blue Jays. I think they also got Ty France, first baseman. So the Blue Jays getting a first baseman along with Louis Varland. Wow. Wow, here. Massive trade compensation update. The Twins, they traded relief pitcher Griffin Jax to the Rays. In return, the Rays are trading to Minnesota Taj Bradley, one of their better relief or starting pitchers. Griffin Jax must be having a hell of a year to get Taj Bradley. How about that? A couple other compensation updates here. For trades that have gone down. Oswald Peraza, who went about half an hour before the deadline to the New York Yankees, from the Yankees to the Angels, I should say. The Yankees in return got cash and a minor league prospect outfielder, Wilberson De Pena. Couple other updates here. In exchange for Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano, the Baltimore Orioles got from the San Diego Padres pitcher Boston Bateman, prospect shortstop Cobb Tower, prospect first baseman Victor Figueroa, prospect pitcher Tyson Neighbors, shortstop prospect Brandon Butterworth, and prospect pitcher Tanner Smith. So 6 players going back to Baltimore for those two. Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano going to the Padres. For the Merrill Kelly deal, the Arizona Diamondbacks dealing Merrill Kelly to the Texas Rangers. They in return got 2 pitchers, Cole Drakeman and David Hageman, along with another pitcher, I should say, Mitch Bratt. Looking here at some other updated compensations and trades. The Tampa Bay Rays, they got at least a half-decent return for their shortstop, infielder, utility man, Jose Caballero. They get Everson Pereira, a center fielder prospect, top 15 in the Yankee system. He was a guy who I wanted back in the, David Bednar deal. A guy who, doesn't have a high ceiling, but he'll be a big league player next year. Maybe even, right now, if the Rays, need a outfielder and future consideration. So the Rays getting a decent return for Jose Caballero. Another decent return, Curtis Mead getting dealt from the Rays to the White Sox for Adrian Hauser. That's a decent deal there for the White Sox. A couple others here. In return for Ty France and Louis Varland, the Minnesota Twins get prospect pitcher Kendrys Rojas and prospect outfielder Alan Rodin. Okay, so we know that one. Also, maybe why you saw such a fire sale today from the Minnesota Twins. Bob Nightingale, MLB Insider, puts out the Minnesota Twins, who are about $440 million in debt, erased a chunk of it by trading away virtually their entire roster in a matter of 12 hours. No wonder Carlos Correa, who is making a bunch of money, won it out. Yikes. It's rare that as a Pirate fan, I feel bad for another team's, fan base. I kind of feel bad for the Minnesota Twins fan base. Everyone gets traded in 12 hours because you're in debt. Are the Twins up for sale? If so, I'd be livid if I was a fan of theirs. Going to take one more scroll here through Twitter, see if there's anything else going on here. There's any other trades that are leaking in here now, 13 minutes past the deadline. If I'm going to be honest here, at least about the Pittsburgh Pirates deadline, this was probably one of the worst trade deadlines that I have ever witnessed as a Pirate fan. All the guys who you should have traded, Andrew Heaney, Tommy Pham, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, guys who are on one-year deals who I guarantee you will not be back with this team next year. They are still somehow on the team. Instead, the Pirates traded their starting third baseman, who couldn't hit worth a damn, and honestly, for as, meh that trade was, it was probably the best trade that the Bucks did this deadline. They had a, whatever trade, getting Caleb Ferguson off the team for a single-A player. They then traded David Bednar to get another catcher when they already have 3 catchers who, I'll admit suck at the big leagues, but still, though, you need quality over quantity here, along with 2 other single-A players. You got that for your all-star closer who is a hometown kid and loved being in Pittsburgh. And then you traded, aside from Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller, you're a pitcher who is going to be a big league arm on a night in, night out basis. You traded that in Bailey Falter, who I would have kept here beyond this season. And you traded him for literally nothing. A 28-year-old reliever who is going to, I guarantee you, be one member of the endless parade of 4A baseball players that bounces up and down between the majors for this big league team, and a first baseman in A-ball who you will probably never hear from again other than me saying his name today. Ben Cherington should be fired immediately and run out of town with pitchforks right now. I didn't think, honestly, with the season being such a wash, I didn't think coming into today, following the trade deadline, that I could care less about watching a baseball game for the rest of the year. Thank God for Pittsburgh Steelers football, and thank God for them being as relevant as they are, because I would go insane on here if I had to talk about the Pirates. Other than today, because of the trade deadline, I would go knuckin' futz if I had to go one more day talking about the Pirates as the main talking point. This was a horrendous trade deadline that Ben Cherington messed up. He could have done the bare minimum, which he does in every single aspect of his job as general manager. He could have done nothing. The bare minimum, ship off your guys with 1-year deals, keep Bednar, keep Keller, keep Santana, and that would have been fine. We would have counted that as a win, because then we would have gotten back on the bandwagon of him being fired in the offseason. Instead, he went and he messed it up royally, getting nothing back for guys of value. David Bednar, valuable player, found his all-star form. Relievers are going for inflated prices this trade deadline, and he got back a average, at best, return for Bednar. Then he ships off Bailey Falter, a legit starting pitcher in the big leagues, who I would have kept beyond this year. He would have been a nice 4 or 5 if this team was actually, competing. Instead, he shipped Falter off for literally peanuts and a bucket of baseballs. I want to be careful with my words here. I don't hate this. I love this. I love the Pirates. I just hate the dipshits that are in charge. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent now. That's what they are. They're dipshits in charge. Dumbasses, don't know their left from their right, running this team. Ben Cherington and Bob Nutting. Nutting is going to be too stupid and cheap to fire Cherington, which he should be, okay, hey, Bob, these are the trades I just made today. What do you want me to do next? I want you to pack up your office and go as far away from Pittsburgh as worldly possible. And then you got Nutting. He's going to be too stupid and too cheap to fire Cherington this offseason. And if Cherington is still in charge this offseason, I'm worried now. I'm happy he kept Keller, and I'm happy he kept Dennis Santana, and even Brian Reynolds, who was being rumored here and there to be on the move, which we knew wasn't going to happen. I'm scared now if Ben Cherington is kept in charge this offseason, what moves he is going to make when he doesn't have a clock going against him. If he has actual time to think about trades, and think about, chipping off Mitch Keller, how bad the return would be. I give up. I was at least, going to keep the idea open that if the Pirates had a decent deadline and, hey, maybe they brought back, a couple of AAA guys who will be up this year, get at least a little bit of excitement for next year back on this team in the back half of this season, maybe then I would have considered going to a ball game, because I haven't been to a Pirate game this year. Usually me and my family together, we, circle the calendar, pick a date or two to, go to a ball game. Now we have no interest. No interest. One more trade, actually. I just saw on my phone here, came across here a moment ago. So going to hit the trade alert. Pretty decent trade here. The Kansas City Royals, who they were just buyers, they got Adam Frazier, they got Bailey Falter from the Bucks. They are sending they are making another addition, sorry. They are getting Mike Yastrzemski, right fielder from the San Francisco Giants. That's a nice addition for them. So the Royals, which the Royals, they're a team that the Pirates should be. A team who, they're a small market team. I think it's Kansas City, I want to believe, is a smaller market than Pittsburgh. They have one mega contract on the team, Bobby Witt Jr., which, if you're the Pirates, I give one mega contract if I could to Paul Skeens. And then they've done well drafting, developing. They've hit on their trades. And, they're going on. And the Royals are what the Pirates should be. And they just made a solid trade getting Mike Yastrzemski from the San Francisco Giants. Going to see if there is any updates on any of the trades that came across a little while ago. For Willie Castro, the Chicago Cubs, they got utility man Willie Castro from the Minnesota Twins. In return, the Twins, they got two pitchers, Ryan Gallagher and Sam Armstrong. I think that's a new one on here that we had yet to see. Still no compensation update on Carlos Correa going back to Houston. Minnesota, they must have gotten, barely anything in return or a player to be named later. Like I said, I read to you guys, they are $440 million in debt, and they were just fire sailing everyone. So I did not expect them to, get returns of massive proportions here. Noah Hiles, Steelers beat writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, officially confirming that 3 expiring contracts that we all would have put good money on that would have been gone at this trade deadline, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Andrew Heaney, and Tommy Pham, they all remain in Pittsburgh. That is official. Also, funny, we're talking about trade deadline and the Pirates making horrendous moves. Let's take a trip back a year ago today. And remember who the Pirates got last year at the trade deadline? Brian De La Cruz. The Yankees, to make room on the guys they added today, they just DFA'd Brian De La Cruz. Bring him back to Pittsburgh there, Charrington. I'm sure you have like the voice in your head that's saying, hey, maybe Brian De La Cruz can be a power bat after all. Looking here at the various reactions on Twitter, and I'm not seeing too many that are, overreactions. Even one person here, Ben Charrington, just set the franchise back another 5 years after today's botched job. It's hard for me to see that is. It's hard for me to see that as a lie. Also, Pirates fans as well reacting to Camilo Doval, the one-time closing pitcher for the San Francisco Giants, going to the Yankees. Are you wondering why did we need to trade Bednar there then? So, just to recap this trade deadline, the Pirates traded their starting third baseman, one of their relief pitchers, their closer, one of their big league starting pitchers with term, and another relief pitcher who they got for their third baseman. In return, they got, 5 or 6 high A baseball players and 1 triple A player, a catcher, who is going to be competing with Henry Davis, Joey Bart, and Endy Rodriguez. Perfect deadline there for Ben Cherington. Did the exact opposite of what he needed to do. Traded players with term for like low A baseball players when he should have been playing or trading rental players for guys in at the very least double A to where they can, climb up the chain here. Unbelievable, outstanding. 8 of you in here right now. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. The Pittsburgh Pirates, a horrendous trade deadline now in the books. That should get Ben Cherington fired immediately. But we know that ain't going to happen. Going to catch up on the comments here right now. Freight Train, I'll be down there for spring training next season in Bradenton. God bless you. Good luck with that. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. Nice, close to Sarasota. Yeah. That's one thing about, Florida is that, if I were to live in Florida someday, I would want to live like somewhere around the Bradenton area, just like somewhere down there where like I can go see the Pirates in the spring and it's not too far from, everything else. Disney World, Miami, Tampa. Florida seems like a nice place where you can go wherever and do a ton of different stuff. Let's go back to this comment here. It all starts with nutting. Yep. And he'll just keep giving lip service. He'll say the right things. He'll say we need to be better. We need to improve our processes. We need to improve on the field, off the field. And then he does nothing and puts no money into the team to change any of that. He'll say the right thing, and then he'll keep doing or do the exact opposite than what he says. So that's nice and dandy. Going to get back into some extra Pittsburgh sports news here for the day. Let's get our minds off of baseball so that we don't have to talk about it anymore. Back to Steelers training camp. Defense, they won 7 shots today at Steelers training camp practice, 5-2. Then the Steelers wide receivers and Steelers wide receivers and tight ends, they had an okay day versus the corners and safeties. And, did get chippy at times. Jonnu Smith versus Juan Thornhill. Jalen Ramsey versus Calvin Austin. So like seeing that the boys have some spunk. Not going to go through everything that happened in 11-on-11. From what I take it, Will Howard had a, fall back to, fall not from grace. He didn't have a terrible day, but he wasn't, lights out where people were oohing and on after it. Aaron Rodgers, though, from what I'm seeing, did have his best day at Steelers training camp. Looked more accurate. The DK Metcalf Rodgers connection got a lot stronger here today. So love seeing that. Also, there was another fight in 11-on-11s. Chuck Clark, new safety for the Steelers, signed, I think, earlier this week or late last week. He got up and got into the face of DK Metcalf, even threw a punch from someone's recollection of the event. And yeah, that was it. Better day for the offense. Defense still did pretty well when it came to 7 shots and 11 on 11. But Aaron Rodgers, Roman Wilson, strong days for them. And hopefully more strong days ahead for the Steelers offense in training camp. One thing, though, I think tomorrow night I will be back here live around 5:30, back to normal time. Do not think we will have any Steelers training camp news to talk about. If we do have news to talk about, it will be during the ending of the stream, because tomorrow night is Friday Night Lights, the training camp practice that the Steelers have at Latrobe Memorial Stadium, sort of, giving the guys, reliving their glory days of playing high school football. The Steelers, they take school buses from St. Vincent College to Latrobe Memorial Stadium, and I think they put on a training camp practice and probably like around 2,000 people, and then afterwards there's fan interactions and all that. So it'll be a fun time. That'll all happen, I think, probably tomorrow night. When maybe I'm not live, or maybe practice is just starting as I wrap up live stream tomorrow night. A couple of other extra things here related to the Steelers and what's gone down today. This one not relating to the Steelers, but it is someone new they have to keep track of in their division. The Cincinnati Bengals today officially signing former Seattle Seahawks tight end Noah Fant. Fant was cut from them a couple weeks ago, visited with the Bengals. Also, I think visited with the New Orleans Saints, and now he is back up in Cincinnati, signing with the Bengals. So Joe Burrow gets another weapon, along with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase Brown, the running back, Mike Gesicki, their tight end already. So Steelers, glad that they did a nice little revamp of their secondary. They got 3 great coverage guys, as Mike Tomlin likes to call them, in Joey Porter Jr., Darius Slay, and Jalen Ramsey. They are going to need all of them when they play the Bengals this year. Last thing here on the Steelers today, the Madden, the video game produced by EA Sports, they came out with more ratings here today. The Steelers, they actually got some respect for once in Madden. Their defense ranked the number 1 defense in the game, a 91 overall defense for the Steelers in Madden, 2 points above the Kansas City Chiefs at 89, so that's cool there. Also in the top 10s for positions, 3 Steelers made the top 10 of their respective positions. TJ Watt, a little bit of disrespect. He came in as the 3rd highest overall edge rusher in Madden, behind Micah Parsons at a 98 overall, and Myles Garrett at a number 99 overall. Watt was a 96 in Madden this year. Also, new Steeler Jalen Ramsey, a 94 overall in Madden 26. That is 3rd best amongst top corners, tied with Sauce Gardner and Trent McDuffie. He's behind Christian Gonzalez of the New England Patriots. I've not heard much of Christian Gonzalez, but I think it is crazy that you put him above, Sauce, Jalen, even guys like Derek Stingley, who's on this list, 93 overall. I've got to do more watching of Christian Gonzalez. The Steelers will see him this year when they play the Patriots, but did not think he would be that high. And of course, the top corner above Gonzalez and Jalen Ramsey is Pat Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year last year. Final Steeler in the top 10 at his respective position. No shock that this guy is in the top 10. Probably was the biggest no-brainer of them all. Chris Boswell, an 85 overall, 2nd highest rated kicker in Madden. 2 points behind, though, Brandon Aubrey, a kicker for the Dallas Cowboys. So, congrats to Boz. 2 players that did miss out on the top 10 at their position that I could maybe argue that they should be up there. Patrick Queen, he did not make the top 10 list for linebackers and their overalls in this game. Devin Lloyd of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's an 85 overall. He took up the last spot in the linebacker rankings. And for tight ends, Pat Freiermuth's not in the top 10 either. Evan Ingram, the number 10 tight end on that list. So hopefully they can improve their ratings as the season goes along in Madden. Just two stories here today for the Pittsburgh Penguins, which, hey, 2 is better than none, which is what we've been getting on the Penguins in recent days. Happy birthday to one of the GOATs, one of the biggest core members of the Core 3 here in Pittsburgh, and he was the first of the Core 3 to get drafted to the Penguins. 39th birthday to Evgeny Malkin. Happy birthday, Gino. If this is your final year in Pittsburgh, like what some are, saying, can't wait to see you for one last time, Gino. Thank you for all you did here in Pittsburgh. 3 cups. Wouldn't have won a single one of those cups without you. And the final story today on the Penguins, Josh Yohe of The Athletic, he covers the Penguins. He had an article recently in The Athletic talking about the Penguins and their rebuild. Part of his article saying, quote, "A big trade or two feels likely before training camp. Kyle Dubas hasn't received offers that meet his liking yet, but he is fully committed to a rebuild." So we've all been wondering here with the Penguins, how comes Erik Karlsson is still on the team? How come one of Brian Rust or Rickard Rakell haven't been traded yet? Patience a little bit more is what I'm taking from that. Trades will come here. I guess Dubas has set a very lofty price tag on those guys. Might need to bring it down just a smidge, but we'll see what comes up here over the next couple of weeks before Penguins training camp begins. If you think I'm on here losing my mind, seems like the frustration has passed over into the those who cover the Pirates as well. Dejan Kovacic of DK Pittsburgh Sports tweeting a little bit ago, "I've had enough. I've written enough. I've spoken enough. Rest of the day, I'm using this account to retweet what you have to say about this pathetic franchise that's owned by someone comfortable allowing a 6-year failed GM to make salary dumps for prospects." Pretty accurate statement there by DK. Looks like we, real quick before I log off for the evening, looks like we had one more trade or so that has come across the wire here. Now over half an hour past the deadline. Also, I apologize if that is video is too loud. You guys gotta give me a thumbs up, thumbs down if that's too loud or not. If so, I will work on taking it down. One extra trade came across here. Shelby Miller, relief pitcher, and also another relief pitcher, former starter and a former good one, Jordan Montgomery, 2 veteran bullpen arms, getting traded from the Arizona Diamondbacks to the Milwaukee Brewers. So I wonder if Arizona retained any money there on Montgomery's salary. I know Montgomery had a pretty lofty contract and price tag. If so, that's another classic case of a team in the Pirates division, no less, in a smaller market, spending way more than the Bucks. So, the Brewers get stronger there, and the Pirates, they got a lot weaker today, and for all the wrong reasons. Trading away players with term for single-A prospects that are nowhere near the majors, and they held on to all of their rental guys for the most part, who I 99% guarantee you will be gone this offseason. So looks like we are heading for a very ugly rest of the season here for the Buccos, and if Ben Cherington remains on as the Pirates general manager, it's going to be a rough off season. They will have money to play with. For as bad as their trades were this deadline, they did shave off a good bit of money. I think in their first three trades, Key Brian Hayes, Caleb Ferguson, and David Bednar gone, they saved around $20 million in salary. Not sure how much else they shaved off for Bailey Falter and Taylor Rogers. So the Pirates, they will have some money to play with in the offseason. However, that can all be a moot point if this general manager who made these trades will then decide how he spends this money in the offseason. After all, he did have $5 million that he gave to analytics people in the offseason, put that into people with laptops, and this guy, because he, angles his front leg 2 inches to the left here, hits the ball 30% more of the time. He had put money into that stuff instead of giving it to big league ball players who are actually out on the field swinging the bat, throwing the baseball. So should be a fun rest of the season here. But hey, football is here. We'll talk more tomorrow. Probably, I don't know. It'll probably be a short live stream tomorrow unless something major happens, because like I said, Steelers training camp, they got Friday night lights tomorrow night. That'll probably be a practice, on after or, near the end of my live stream tomorrow night. And then the Pirates, they are still on the West Coast. They have a somewhat late game tomorrow night, game one of their 3-game set against the Colorado Rockies, a Mile High. So we'll meet back here tomorrow, see what we get into. I'm sure we'll talk and have more reactions to the trade deadline today, but other than that, might be a quick stream tomorrow night. But today was no quick stream. I want to thank you all once again. 10 of you left in here. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. We are up to 475 subscribers on the channel, so let's see here in the coming weeks if we can, get up to 500. Until then, thank you all for joining me on for over 2 hours here tonight. Pirates, historically bad trade deadline, but hey, wouldn't expect anything else from that general manager or owner. So for the final time, thank you all for joining me. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, hang on here. Not before I log off here, we got some breaking news. It's not baseball related. It's not even Pittsburgh Steelers related, but it is interesting. Breaking from Andrew Schultz of the Schultz Report. Even though this player is in training camp right now, All-Pro wide receiver Terry McLaurin has officially requested a trade. Multiple sources tell Jordan Schultz, formerly of Fox Sports and The Athletic. So, interesting. Yesterday, I think, who was it? Chad Schrader, you said you were at the Pat McAfee show. Omar Khan was there. He said he had, he wasn't done yet. He says you're never done when, adding to this team. That could be, we thought extending TJ Watt was going to be the big, cherry on top of the massive chocolate fudge sundae here. Terry McLaurin wants a trade. Steelers still got $25 million in cap space to play with. Not saying anything's going to happen. Just saying. Something to think about. I see you, Flacco. I really want Scary Terry. I really want Scary Terry, too. You talk about addressing wide receiver 2 with a bang. He wouldn't be wide receiver 2. He'd be WR1 and DK would be WR2. But that would be a hell of a 1-2 punch at wide receiver. And if you were to go with 12 personnel, just like what Arthur Smith likes to use a lot, you got your Aaron Rodgers, right? In the backfield, you got, Caleb Warren or Caleb Johnson or Jalen Warren right there. You got your running back. But then you look at your options. Terry McLaurin, Pat Fryermuth, Jonnu Smith, DK Metcalf. I got endless possibilities to throw to here. So, yeah, maybe that's something we'll talk about tomorrow. I'm sure more information will come out on that later tonight. But Terry McLaurin wants a trade. Could the Steelers maybe, does the Omar con artist have one more nice little deal left in him? I'd take that. That was a big spirit lifter. After this live stream here, down in the dumps about what the Pirates are doing, we talked about the Steelers. They are keeping us sane. That trade that would have me doing backflips. So we'll talk about more about that tomorrow. But yeah, thank you all. Have a good rest of your Thursday night. Pirates are down. Steelers are up. We'll see what goes on moving forward. Have a good rest of your Thursday night. See you back here tomorrow. Back to normal time, 5:30 p.m. We'll live stream tomorrow. Also, forgot to mention, check out Steel City Sports Report on all the other social media platforms as well, Facebook, Instagram, and X. And tune in back later tonight for SCSR 60. Probably will be out a little bit later tonight when I get around to making that. So for the final time, thank you. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. See you back here tomorrow. Tune in later tonight. Have a good one. Peace.